Hello everyone, today I will show you how to use grid lines for accurate portrait painting from reference. I told you in my last video that I will explain it properly, so here I am. Now, without wasting any time, let's get into it. The first thing you need is a reference, of course. Then you have to turn on the grid line tool from the top button. Now, there is an important setting that you have to remember. Make sure that your grid 1 color has 0 opacity. If it's visible, then there will be smaller grids like a graph paper, and we do not need that level of precision here. It will only increase the confusion. So make sure that your grid 1 color opacity is 0. You can increase or decrease the intervals of grid 1 or 2 depending on your preference. And also you can move the grid from left to right or top to bottom by changing the position of X and Y axis. Once you feel like it's the perfect position you are looking for, then you are done with it. Next, what you are going to do is mark all the rows and columns. I am using numbers. You can also use alphabets as well. Anything that indicates that these are different rows and columns. The reason we are doing it is to understand easily which row or column or grid line we need to look at when we are drawing the face. Let me show you what I'm trying to say here. So, for example, if I need to draw the eyes, I have to check in which rows and columns they are sitting in. So you can see here they are in between the 5th and the 7th column and also on the 4th row. This is how we locate these exact parts of a face, so there is no way we make mistakes while sketching. Similarly, if I want to draw the lips, I'm going to figure out the position by the row and column and then draw it. Now that we have covered all the important parts, let's start drawing. But before that, we need to save this picture as a screenshot, because if you save this as it is, you won't be able to see the grids. Now we are ready. So I have my reference window open and it's time to locate the face. Once you look at the major elements of the face, the rest falls into the puzzle very easily. But of course, you can always double check if the positions are correct or not. I'm going to zoom to see which grids are for which parts. I decided to start with the lips and chin, and then gradually move towards the other areas, but you can start with anything you wish. I tried to get the overall shape of the face first and then focus on other details like the hairs, the lips, and at the very last I did the eyes, because it's one of the most important elements of a face and it needs more time and precision. See how easy it is to sketch after having your reference mapped out like this. So if you have followed the process so far, I am sure you can figure out what's going on here. But I will be sharing the entire sketching process for better understanding. And also I'm going to discuss the pros and cons of this method. The first good point is definitely the precision. You know the positions of the exact parts of the reference and you can produce almost accurate results if you want to draw realistic portraits. Not only just realistic portraits, but also you can make semi-realistic stuff as you know the proper placements. All you need to do is exaggerate some of the features, but overall the shape or the positions are similar. So this method works just fine. But the more you go towards cartoonish or stylized art style, the less useful this method becomes. Still, it's very helpful for basic style of drawing. Secondly, even if you don't know a lot about anatomy, you will still be able to make nice drawing if you have a good eye. So it's pretty much time saving and kind of a shortcut way to learn how to draw better faster. Now for the cons. It is also related to anatomy. So if you only depend on grid line method and do not learn actual anatomy, then you will turn into a slave of this process. You won't be able to draw things out of the box. If you want to produce something else than the reference itself, it will be hard for you to grasp the right proportions or placements. And the second issue is this method needs constant back and forth checking between the reference and your canvas. So you won't be able to draw freehand and will be too focused on not messing up. This exact situation has the potential to suck the joy out of your drawing process, especially if we obsess over the right placement or proportion. This issue can be fixed if we are used to this method. Once you are used to it and figure out the main elements, you won't be needing to focus a lot on the grid itself. But the first issue is actually a big one. So use this method for drawing portraits or practicing or studying, whatever it is. But if you want to develop your skills and want to be free from reference or want to combine multiple references in a single piece, you need to learn basic anatomy and shape language. Then again, if you already know anatomy and want to make accurate portrait of someone, then this is the best method that you can apply. Now I hope you can enjoy the rest of the process and I will get back to you when it's done. Okay, so this is how the rough sketch looks like. I'm not a big fan of line art, so this would be just fine for me to start painting. But for the sake of YouTube thumbnail, I'm going to show you how it looks like after doing a proper line art. And here you go. That's it. We are done. Now, if we keep the reference and the line art side by side, we can see they are almost identical. So, if you also want to create near perfect realistic portraits, then go ahead, give this method a go. So that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed watching the video and learned something useful. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Till then, take care.